C earn 20 more than A, B earns 20% more than C, D earns 50% more than A, E earns 50% more than C. If A, B, C, D and E earn integer amount less than rupees 100 and A's earning is a multiple of 25, then is the total amount earned by all 5 of them combined. Then I think, then what is the total amount earned by all 5 of them combined, right? So interesting one here, he has given us relationships between these persons, right? A, B, C, D, E. Like first part says C earns 20 more than A. Means what? C is equal to A plus 20. B earns 20% more than C. B earns 20% more than C, which means B will be equal to C plus 20%, which is like 1.2C, right? 1.2C. 20% of C is 0.2C. So C plus 0.2C, 1.2C. D earns 50% more than A. D earns 50% more than A. Sorry. D earns 50% more than A. So D will be equal to A plus 50%. 50% more than A, you all know it's 1.5A. Then E earns 50% more than C. E earns 50% more than C. So E will be equal to C plus 50%, which is 1.5C. In fact, you should directly be writing these values that we have put on the right hand side, right? Instead of showing how we have arrived at it, right? I mean, you know all those simple calculations. So C earns 20 more than A, B earns 20% more than C, D earns 50% more than A, E earns 50% more than C. Now, the other condition it is A, B, C, D, E earn integer amount. You have to focus on this part, right? A, B, C, D and E, all 5 of them earn integer amount, right? Integer values. So it cannot be a decimal value and less than rupees 100. Less than rupees 100. So A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, D, E. All are less than 100 and integers. So if this is the condition, given to us, then and A's earning is a multiple of 25. A's earning is a multiple of 25. This is an interesting point, right? A's earning is a multiple of 25. So what are the possible values of A? Sorry, A's earning is a multiple of 25. What are the possible values of A? A is equals to 25 or 50 or 75 or 100. You understand? Multiple of 25. All these are multiples of 25. All these are multiples of 25. Right? 25, 50, 75, 100. However, I think 100 can be eliminated. A cannot be 100 because it says all of them earn less than 100, right? 100 is not less than 100. 100 is equal to 100, right? A, B, C, D, E earn integer amount less than 100. So 100 is eliminated. So A can be 25 or 50 or 75. There are 3 possible answers, right? 3 possible answers. So how do you know what exactly is the value here? See, I think the other condition we know is each one of them should be an integer value. So yeah, I think if you look at the equation here, we know that D is equal to 1.5A. D is equal to 1.5A. So let's assume if I take A equals to 25, what will be the value of D? D will be equal to 1.5 times of 25, which is 37.5. But can D be 37.5? No, 37.5 is not an integer. So D is eliminated. D can't be 37.5, which means A can't be 25. Similarly, if A is 50, D will be 75. See, 1.5 times of 75, 1.5 times of 50, 75. So D can be 75 possible. If A is 75, let's say, if A is 75, what will be D? It will be 112.5. You know, 1.5 times of 75, 112.5. Right? But can D be 112.5? No, 112.5 is not an integer. Hence, A also cannot be 75. So I think the only possibility for A is 50. And if A is 50, D is 75. So find out the values now. A is 50, D is 75. Right? So A is equal to 50, D is equal to 75. What about C? C will be equal to A plus 20, right? A plus 20 meaning 70. C is A plus 20, we know this, right? So C will be equal to 50 plus 20, 70, right? Then B is equal to 1.2C. B will be equal to 1.2C. So 1.2 into 70 is 84, right? 1.2 into 70 is 84. And E will be equal to 1.5C. 1.5C, right? 1.5 into 70 will be 105. I think these are the values. A is 50, we have got, right? By which D will become D comes out to be 75. And C is equal to, what is the equation? C is equal to A plus 20, so 70. Then B is equal to 1.2 into C, so 1.2 into 70 is 84, and E is equal to 1.5 into C, so 1.5 into 70 is 105. He's asking us to find out the total amount earned by all 5 of them combined. Total amount earned by all 5 of them. So add now. Add all the values. So 50 and 75, 125, 125 and 70 is 195, 195 and 105 will be 300, 384 is 384. 384 is the answer. Total. Yeah? 384 is the final answer. 50, 75, 125, then 70 is 195, 195 and 105 is 300, 384 is 384. Okay, but E can't be 105. Hold on. All 5 of them have to be less than 100, right? Sorry. Look at this. There's one condition that we have missed. While all of them are, all these values are integers, E is coming out to be, yeah, there's some problem with the solution. It can't be 384. Why it can't be 384? Because E cannot be 105. All of them have to be less than 100, right? Remember this condition? So sorry about this. E should be less than 100. Okay, so E can't be 105. What is the condition? E is, where is it given? E earns 50% more than C. So C plus 50% of C. 70 plus 35, 105. Yeah. So I think A can't be 50 also. A can't be 50, D can't be 75. I think, can we take A as 100? I don't think 100 also can be considered, right? Because he says they earn less than rupees 100. A, B, C, D, E earn less than rupees 100. So what is the answer? A cannot be 25 because if A is 25, D becomes 37.5. 37.5 is not allowed because all of them earn integer amount, right? A can't be 75 because if A is 75, D becomes 112.5 and D is not, that 112.5 is not integer. A we have eliminated as 100 because if A is 100, if A is equal to 100, then it becomes, see, we want A to be less than 100, right? All of them earn less than rupees 100. So 100 is eliminated. We chose A equals to 50, and by doing all that, E comes out to be 105, which also is incorrect because E has to be less than 100, right? So I think no possible answer here. It does not satisfy. It does not satisfy. Okay, one thing I can think of is maybe C earns 20% more than A. If Sagar has posted a wrong question, or maybe wherever the question has been chosen from, if there is an error here, see, if C is 20% more than A, then I think it will satisfy. Then C will become 60 and E will become 90. Let me do that correction. So I am explaining you the process, assuming that the question is wrong, but the change is as follows, right? C earns 20%, let's say. Then what happens? C is A plus 20%, which is 1.2A, which implies C here will be not 70, it will be 1.2A, means 1.2 times of 50, which is 60. And based on C, we have got E, right? E will be 1.5C, which is E is not 105, it will be 60 plus 50% of 60, which is 90. Then the total comes out to be what? 50 and 75, 125, 125 and 60 is 185, 185 and 84, or 185 and 90 is 275, 275 and 84. So 359. Yeah? But that is with an assumption that C earns 20% more than A. Right, so find out the total. Anyway, let's take this as the final answer. I mean, we can't do anything otherwise. All the options are, I mean, all 25, 50, 75 and 100 are coming out to be wrong, right? So 50 and 70, 50, 60, 110, 110 and 90 is 200. So this is 200 and 75 and 75 is 150. So 350 and then extra 9, 359. So answer comes out to be 359. If it is 20% more than A. Otherwise, the question is wrong. If you still say that no, it's not 20%, it is 20, then the question is wrong. It's not possible. Oh, I think B also will change. Hold on. I'm sorry. I think B also would change here because B is 1.2 times of C. Sorry. B is 1.2 times of C, right? So 1.2 times of C is 1.2 times of 60, which is 72. Yeah. D is 1.5 times of A, which remains the same. Yeah, so I think there's a change here. Answer would be 359 minus 12, which is 347. Yeah, 347. Sorry, I did not account for the change in the B. With change in C, B also would change. So 50, 60, 90 is 200. 200 and 147. We'll make it 347. So 347 will be the answer with an assumption that C earns 20% more than A and not 20 more than A. Okay.